What's up, guys? I'm Mike from StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have a lot of plays, a lot of information to go over in today's video. We had another very choppy day in the market. The S&P 500 finished up about 0.02%. So we can see that the past couple days have just been so choppy. But in this video, we're going to be talking about some plays for tomorrow and some important news. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. But with that being said, Tom, what happened in the market today?
Yeah, there was actually some really interesting movement out of the stocks Verizon and Chevron, and that's because Berkshire Hathaway grabbed shares of both of those stocks and trimmed their stake of JP Morgan and Apple. And these are very interesting moves, of course, but a lot of people follow Warren Buffett, and man, Verizon popped in after hours upon that news coming out, and then also popped today during intraday, and then as well as Chevron, same thing, popped yesterday. It didn't really reach pre-market highs today like Verizon did, but man, Verizon had a great day, and we were even talking about this a couple days ago, saying that it was a pretty good time to get into some shares down here pretty low, and it looks like that they're actually starting to pop off of those lows and starting to go up here. And I think that Buffett's really trying to play the 5G get a play into the 5G sector over the next couple years as that starts to roll out.
Awesome. So it's definitely something to look at how Buffett entered Chevron and Verizon. They're definitely two plays to keep an eye out over the next couple months, the next couple years. It's definitely an important catalyst. Definitely keep your eyes on it. And I know everyone's talking about CCIV. They're up about 7% today. Do we have any news there?
Yeah, there's actually not too much news. It's still just the hype from that Lucid deal is making it go up right now. I think though it looks like it's starting to slow down a little bit. It turned to the downside at the end of the day, but it did end up hitting 59.50 at like 1:30 p.m. Central Time or 2:30 Eastern at the end of the day, right before close. But it has a lot of momentum. As long as it can hold the $55 support, I think that we're golden on this stock. I do like it to the upside though. What do you think about it?
I think it looks okay. I'm not a huge fan of it up or down, but one thing I really want to point out is the implied volatility is 237%. So even if you think this stock's going to go up or down, you have to be extremely careful playing it because let's say you think it'll fall, right? And let's say you buy a put. It can fall and you could still lose a lot of money because the options are so expensive right now because it's been so volatile. So my official stance would be neutral, but I definitely want to point that out for everyone because the IV is so high, so you have to be really careful buying options right now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like this is not a stock like KO or like Walmart or something like that that's pretty proven and has been on the market for a long time. It actually is a pretty new IPO. Well, since it came on the market, that is. You can see how low it used to be, and then once the news of that SPAC came in, it just shot it way up. It's just something I personally I wouldn't like to buy it here at these prices. I would just treat it as momentum.
Yeah, all these SPACs are really volatile to say the least, but I also heard some news with Blackrock and Bitcoin. So Bitcoin hit highs of around 52K today and it's still popping. What's going on there?
Yeah, that's an amazing thing. Riot and Mara also popped. Riot's up 30%, hitting about at highs almost $80 a share intraday. But just like you said, BlackRock said that they're actually starting to dabble in Bitcoin per CNBC. And in January, BlackRock added Bitcoin futures as a potential investment for two of its funds, according to filings with the SEC. So that's very interesting to hear. And also good for Bitcoin, as a lot of these institutions that said Bitcoin was bad a couple years ago, now they're starting to dabble, in their own words, into Bitcoin, which is awesome. And hopefully they'll start to dabble into other cryptocurrencies and help those currencies kind of go up.
Awesome. So like you look at GBTC, MARA, RIOT, we called this out on Sunday. And basically whenever you see Bitcoin move up, these three stocks tend to move up as we can see over the past couple days. Just one thing to keep in mind is like RIOT, it is a 246% implied volatility. Mara, 212%. So the options are getting pretty expensive. So I just wanted to point that out so everyone knows to, just be careful with it in general. But with that being said, let's get right into our Discord member of the day and then the momentum plays. So with our member of the day, we have Vinny. So huge shout out, Vinny, for being positive in the StockedUp Discord. We really appreciate it. And thank you so much for all of your activity in the chat. But with that being said, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. Now, I really like this one on Sunday. It had a bad day yesterday, but it had an amazing day today, and that's QS. So I think this has a lot of potential. I also called it out for a day trade in the Discord today in the free day trading section. But Tom, what levels should we be watching for tomorrow?
Yeah, it's starting to pull back here in after hours, but make it break above 67.72.
Awesome. So, like, if we look at a chart, like a daily chart on QS, we can see when it runs up, it has a lot of potential, and it tends to run up for a couple days to even a couple weeks at some point. But just overall, it's pretty volatile, but it does have a lot of potential. It is pretty risky, so just keep it on your radar. If it starts to run, like I said, it has a lot of potential. With the next one, we have Costco COST.
Yeah, with COST, this one looks pretty good, bouncing off of the 350 support on a daily chart, but go ahead and make it actually break above 358.50 tomorrow.
Sounds good. With the next one, we have WFC.
WFC, this was another stock that did surprisingly well today, but make them pop above 37.45. And if we go to the daily chart, WFC had quite the day. This is actually the biggest day it's had in the past like 6 months to a year almost.
Awesome. Well, let's get right into our $5.5 million trade for this week. We are looking at Amazon, and we are looking at the Amazon 3,250 strike puts that expire this Friday, February 19th. So looking at this play, it looks like Amazon has a lot of potential to the upside. I would definitely say that they are shorting these calls. Shorting these puts, I should say. The options are about $60 out of the money, and they only have 2 days left of time. I would definitely think they're shorting them.
Yeah, Amazon's also moving really good off of this long-term wedge that we've had on here for a long time. And you can see it actually broke above and it kind of consolidated back down and is now actually bouncing off of that. So hopefully Amazon can kind of continue up here for the longer term and just start to break new highs again. Hopefully they can retest 3,500. I think that would be an amazing level for Amazon. And just like you said, they definitely have to be shorting these, I would think. If they are longing them, I would think that they would know something's going on.
For sure. Yeah. In my opinion, it looks like they're definitely shorting them. Amazon, like you said, it's just breaking out of that wedge too. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Amazon jump up like $100 or so within the next week. But let's get right into our questions from the previous episode. With the first question, we have Eric saying, thanks for all you do. What do you think of ZOM? So let's take a look at this one. I know a lot of people have been talking about this. What do you think about this one, Tom? It is a penny stock, so it's not a stock that I would hold for the long term, but it looks like it has a lot of potential for the short term.
Yeah, I think that this is actually a marijuana stock, and it looks like it's doing very good in the short term, like you said. It might start to fall down. It looks like today, even though it was a green day, you can see how much lower it actually went than yesterday. Hopefully, it can kind of start to pop back and continue the run up here with a couple more green days. But it just looks like it might start to fall down, I think. Overall, I'm more neutral on it than anything. I do like it, though, to the upside with the hype it has. And just given how low of a price it is, though, that's what I think is really risky about it.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it's an animal health company. I don't really follow penny stocks like this. If it continues to I don't know, maybe if it can hold that $2 support level, that can be good. But honestly, it's just not really a play for me. With the next question, we have Kay saying FUTU prediction. So let's take a look at this one. They've been doing amazing over the past year. They went from about $8 all the way up to 204. They are a Chinese digitized brokerage and wealth management platform. So what are you thinking about this one?
Yeah, this one I think is one a little too high. I would not personally grab any shares here. If anything, I might sell some puts on this, maybe like some 160 puts or maybe some 170 puts if you like it for the long term.
All right, with the next question, we have Outlaw saying, yo, Mike and Tom, happy Taco Tuesday. What's your opinion on TELL? So, Tom, let's take a look at this one.
Yeah,
TELL. It's doing pretty. It's doing okay. What are you thinking?
Yeah, it's doing okay. It's a pretty good penny stock. It looks like it was moving up well, at least over the past month or so. I will say if it breaks out above like $4.42 or $4.40, I think it can go pretty high. But other than that, I don't like it that much unless it breaks that level. Man, it's just went up so much, and on its longer term chart, it's just not looking too good.
Sounds good. With the next question, we have TV asking about Palantir. So he said price target for Palantir. Overall, looks to be doing pretty well. Like we talked about in yesterday's video, I love it for cash secured puts right now. I think it's an amazing setup, especially if you like it for the long term. I don't have a set price target in mind for it, but overall, I really like it for the long term. I think it'll be a great hold over the next 2 to 5 years or even longer. And I think cash secured puts can be a great way to capitalize off of them falling from their earnings report.
Yeah, and I think the $25 support should hold up pretty well.
For sure. With the next question, we have David saying, great video, Mike and Tom. I am currently holding a 20 strike call option on FCEL. Not sure if I should hold until Friday for a recovery or get out with profit and minimize further risk. So it really depends what price you paid for it. It didn't have a good day today. Personally, I would probably get out. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not looking good. It looks like it's going to pull back. I like the basis behind the company though. I think the company can do good in the long term, even though it's had reverse splits and stuff in the past. I think that the technology and stuff can hopefully help them. But I do like the stock. Hopefully it can bounce. I think that there's a pretty good support here around $21. If it can hold that, I think it could do pretty well. But honestly, in the short term, it just kind of looks like it's going to start to pull back. You're way above a lot of SMAs, and it's also went up like over 100% this year.
Oh, big time. I mean, it went from about $1 all the way to highs of basically $30 in the past year alone. So I can
Oh yeah, that's way more than
Oh
100%.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, I can definitely see it pulling back in the future. We're not going to get it. We're not going to get into it too much in this video, but there's ways to kind of minimize risk and also lock in profit if you're trading options and you have spread trading enabled. Basically, like let's say you buy a 20 strike call and the stock runs up, you can like sell like the 25 strike call and turn the whole thing into a credit spread. It's kind of complicated, but I'll link the video in the description below if you want to check that out. But it's just another option if you're ever in a situation like this again. With the next question, we have Mark asking about BNGO, and then we have Richard saying 16 plus, and then Ed saying 16 to $20. So it's definitely on pace to at least hit 16. Has a ton of momentum. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I hope it can keep going up. It does have a lot of momentum. If it does break above 1570, just definitely watch out for 16. I think that could be a pretty big mental resistance right there. I think though the stock might start to pull back. Today was not too big of a telltale though. I think that we'll have to see what goes on tomorrow to really see what happens.
Sounds good. So, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or any insight for the market for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm still watching the stocks that follow Bitcoin like Riot and Mara, but one stock I'm still looking at right now for the longer term is Boeing. I think that there's still a lot of growth potential here, back up to $300 or even $400 a share. And it also just had a doji today. Hopefully, over the next couple days, it can kind of make a decision if it wants to finally break out, maybe above like 220 and then head up towards 225 or even 250. But it needs to break above that level first. Hopefully, it can do that. I think it would be pretty good for calls, or even my favorite thing to do with it would be to sell some puts on this, some $200 puts. That would be a great price on Boeing, $200 a share. And I think if you sell those puts, it would be great. But keep in mind, to sell one of those puts, you have to have $20,000 collateral.
For sure. So I just want to emphasize one more time, selling puts is a lot different than buying puts. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want to trade with Tom and I every single day, you can click the first link in the description down below. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.